I don't know what to say.
Apparently Mark is really comfortable in Legion Commanders. He's also master tier on this hero, so I think that's what it's all about. You train the whole year long, or you train for some of these players multiple years to play in any type of TI situation. You just pick what you think you're good at, right? And that sometimes is good enough.
Now looking at the smoke ups here. Heading over to the side of Sankin Gómez. CDUB marching on the high ground. They're going to find this Tusk first and go and just straight up on 9 and get that first blood for themselves. But it's going to come at a cost. This Double King, maybe even Mark's going to be the next one to drop. Yes, sir. John still chased around by this Lycan. I left Duster also around. They're getting a lot of nuke damage in. And Sankin Gómez, that's 3 kills going their way. Maybe Chan will drop to the Wolves. They want to pull Sanctified back in, but oh, he doesn't quite get the connection there. And Caudle will make his way out. 3 kills for Sankin Gómez right at the bat of this game.
Yeah, but I believe CDUB did manage to get the first blood, but really comes in favor of Sankin Gómez. There's still 1,000 gold advantage here. We'll see if the small things like the Caudle, he did not die there, but he has to limp back to base there with no HP, which means he will not be available for the first wave. And Ducho is going to get cut out here just a little bit here. And this is not the start you're looking for if you're Death Prophet on the bot lane, getting completely zoned out from the first wave.
Yeah, that DP already.
And they had to use a salve,
early salve,
9.
yeah.
Ooh, that's half efficiency there too. So even though that really went well for Sankin Gómez, kill to kill wise, they definitely did not get advantage in the laning stage from it. And sometimes that's more important than getting a couple of kills early on in the game.
Well, let's see what this laning stage is going to be bringing us up, because already 4 kills on the board, which is more than a rapid start than any of the other games that we've seen so far. You're going to love the aggression coming out from both teams as well, welcoming that skirmish, that we are ready to fight. We're not going to give any inches to either side.
And I really liked how fast CDUB was on that reaction there, because if they would have walked that high ground and Sankin Gómez was there's 5 with the Tusk, that could have been a different story. But CDUB just on the same page there really quickly to get there, because if you look at the new changes to Tusk, the tag team, it has an aura now that reduces attack speed by 20. So he should be like the king at these early game kind of rotations, but Sankin Gómez was just not ready for that whatsoever.
Already giving a bit of a battle here. Duster versus 9. Duster, he's going to have to force out the teleport back home. 9, with the help of 2 melee creeps, it's a much harder battle. Duster doesn't go all the way back home, but instead teleports straight back to the lane. So even with a salve already traded off of Ducho, Duster and Double King both kind of low on regen. Just the full stack of tangos left on the Snapfire.
Yeah, that definitely hurt him quite a lot there. Really good by 9 to just get that damage in there where he can, really abusing the fact that Tusk this patch is much stronger. And I think the fact that he has to save this game too, we could potentially see a lot of impact coming out from 9 and his Tusk in this game.
Slawi yesterday didn't have too much luck in his series versus Nouns. A couple very difficult matchups for him to play up against, and in that game too, he was given a lot of security from his team. He was not the only one that had to carry his team to victory, but instead he had all the cores and the supports around him required to get success. But now playing on this Razor, kind of a hero that it needs to work out, right? Like, in not a lot of carries, you always say, like, yeah, this hero is kind of like, it's going to carry us in the end, right? Razor, he's got scaling towards the later parts of the games, sure. But I feel like he's always sat into that category. If his early game doesn't go well, he's just so far behind, right?
Generally speaking, yes, but this new Razor is a little bit of a question mark for me at the current point in time, because they changed how Storm Surge works. So the old Shard is pretty much, well, in bottom lane here. I guess we'll just cook you out and be fine. But Double King, he's looking pretty strong here.
Now really battling it out for sure. Yeah, maybe the new Razor changes potentially have changed it a little bit more. Like, a lot of these heroes have been changed from worse to better. maybe Razor is amongst one of those.
He's just different now, and I have a lot of theory crafts that I want to try with him, but there's so much battling on this bot lane, I don't even know if I can talk about it.
Well,
this Ducho, he might be going down.
Almost getting that third Starbreaker connection. That would have been required to kill the DP, and so Duster's going to be the one to drop first. If only that last hammer would have connected on DP, they would have gotten a kill and would have maybe gotten away with the Snapfire, but instead Double King. Oh, he's actually trying to go in deep there with that Celestial Hammer, but he is being pummeled, and he's gonna die for sure. Ducho gonna take this one too, and Sand King Gómez dominating this bottom lane with those 2 kills.
And you might look at this and be like, maybe that decision to just put Dawn against this lane that is very difficult may have been a little bit of overconfidence here, or potentially just that play was just not necessary. Trying to make that happen there. We saw 9 using that snowball to cancel out the Starbreaker there. Absolutely crucial for them to get that kill. And that snowball, no pun intended, into another kill, making Double King even more confident to try and go in for that kill and just couldn't get it.
As we look at the first 5 minutes that have passed, Sean's also added up a nice 10 CS on his board, so combining a 29 amount of CS in the top lane for both of these CDUB offlaners. With the Razor, actually, that's 37. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong. I was looking at the Lycan there for a second. They're actually pulling ahead here in the Sand King Gómez top lane, their bottom lane, and something that was notable when I was still looking at some of the replays from the yesterday's matchup versus Nouns. Nouns was actually struggling in the laning stage, in the early game. It would look like they're somewhat 50-50, but you'd expect them to do a little bit better than that. So Sand King Gómez really strong in the early 7 to 10 minutes.
Yeah, they definitely are, and I don't know if there's ever time for me to talk about Razor, but this is a new hero. Not a new hero, but newly changed hero. And some of the big changes I did make after we see the 6-minute rune here.
You got somebody excited in the chat already. New hero, Pog.
The new hero, yeah. Sometimes it feels that way. Mark coming bottom lane. He has duel available with invisibility.
Spicy. Oh, Duster's going to be there to help out as well. The Dawnbreaker gets the connection fully through into the duel victory for LC. So that's a successful rotation. Ducho. We like to call that in Finnish Dota. We talk about power fantasies. You know, like when you're feeling you're so strong that nobody can stop you. And that was a prime example of that. You're like you're flexing your muscles and end up getting dead.
Good power fantasy there.
Yeah.
Come to an end.
It's a viable term a lot in Dota. Like when somebody is like, yeah, he's got like 10 kills or something. He can do whatever he wants, and then he does a stupid mistake because he's over aggressive and he dies. So.
Yeah, it's called the Timbersaw syndrome.
Timbersaw syndrome. Okay, yeah, that also works. But Mark getting his first duel victory, topping CS right now, feeling pretty good for him. Lund. Not too much seen from his puck yet, so that first rotation the puck's going to be making, Sand King Gómez, they don't really need to relieve pressure off of either lane, but they don't want CDUB to kind of corral and get together.
Yeah. And we'll have to see. I'm keeping an eye on a lot of different things here. Still want to talk about the Razor, but I don't know when a good time will be. This game is definitely very action-packed, a lot happening.
Welcome
I'll
to
go try again.
Fear's Razor theory.
Yeah, I mean, the Razor theory. Okay, so like the thing about this hero is I think you only put 2 points in Static Link right now, just for the laning stage. You can max your Plasma Field, that helps you farm, and then you max your Storm Surge, because this ability quite literally is a farming tool now. It hits 3 heroes, it can do 150 damage per hero, 18% chance, so you're going to be able to just run around and farm a lot faster than you used to. And he no longer has the shard. They basically put the shard into his Storm Surge. And now his shard, what it does is increase the cast range of Static Link, and it pulls targets towards each other, which, as you can see, is quite useful. So he pretty much has everything that he had before and a new ability. And plus they changed his scaling, so 25 Static Link steals attack speed as well as damage. And all his talents are quite good, as well as on top of that, so.
Bit of an attempt here in the top lane. That's going to be a DDLC getting the duel of just before the blinding light connects, but that's going to prevent the duel victory from going through. But still going to be getting the kill, and there's the snowball, but it's going to be too late. Coil Lund's going to be joining in the fight as well. LC going to be half HP. Big nukes coming here from Lund, and they're going to evaporate that LC. Isla is going to have to make a run for it as well. Willow going for the teleport. He's got 15 HP, but the blood grenade, and of course the follow-up from Lund just gets that illusory orb in time, making it a 2-for-1 and denying that dual victory from going through.
All right, very, very good. I think that rotation, the counter initiation was really good there. If Tusk could have been there a little bit sooner, that may have been better, and that's why you normally see Tusk rush these blink daggers. But he got clipped by a bramble maze, so he just couldn't get there in time. But I think either way, saw he was going to die on his Razor. Opting for the Mask of Madness here, you're going to see him play a lot more like a carry than you will see the traditional Razor, like, oh, I have to make space, I'm playing Razor, right? You can just go and hit creeps, farm it up. Especially the Coddle stacking for you, replenishing your mana so you can have this plasma filled over and over again. This Razor's going to be farmed, moral of the story. He can keep up with most carries nowadays. Unless we're talking about Nagas and a few other examples like Sven. No one can keep up with those heroes.
Dawnbreaker actually getting a pretty good neutral item there. It's Spark of Courage. Extra damage while farming, and if you're in real big trouble, getting extra armor. Dawn already has a decent amount of armor on top, so that gets amplified by an extra +7 in the early game. That's a hefty amount. But in the top lane, like dropping low. Oh, the duel from range by Mark actually gets it, and Double King there to help out with the Solar Guardian. And Mark getting his second duel victory. Very, very active with this LC, and that's just what CDUB needs.
And with that, he should be finishing his Blade Mill as well, which is going to increase his farming speed, and most likely going into that Blink Dagger next, I would imagine. And Ela on his Lycan, he has chosen his path. He went for the Helm of the Dominator, most likely in the Helm of the Overlord next. And you're just going to stick that on heroes like Razor and DP, and they're not a huge fan of that.
One
Slaw is trying to defend top a little bit.
One question I have in mind is, because of this Coddle, is this maybe an NKB game? But we'll see about that. Dutcho already going for the deep dive here at the same time under the tower. The Lycan in trouble, trying to shapeshift away, but he's going to be falling. At the same time, Duster, low on HP, does get the cookie stun onto the DP. The coil also connected by Lund, trying to catch this Double King Dawnbreaker, but it does look like it's only going to be Snapfire to lose his life, with Sand King Gómez hunting them down one by one. Not losing a hero here, keeping the tier 1 tower up as they finish the bottom T1, getting a successful trade, maybe even a second tower, as this top T1 is now defenseless.
That was a really good defense there. That tower will die eventually, but not for now. And as far as this tower, do you want to defend it? There is a possibility if you're CDUB to defend, but it looks like they're not in position. Mark wants to go, but where's his team at?
Yeah, no shapeshift is available. No Mortimers, no Solar Guardian. Gonna have to be in a bit of a short-handed situation at least. Isla already initiated on Mark with the Blade Mill, already down to half HP by the time he gets to the fight. Lund very low on HP as well, trying to go for the disengage. And CDUB can't find an opening. They just don't have the required ults in a way to approach that fight. Mark was trying to get closer to him, and then suddenly LC goes from 100 HP to like 50%. Like, okay, this is not what I wanted to do.
Yeah, you have a lot of long-range damage coming out. Mark is going to die to neutrals if he keeps that one up. Backs out just in time here. A little ambitious here. I guess he might be able to get this big one, or if he wants to spend a lot of time on this with some procs.
Yeah, one by one.
Is this the best use of his time? That is going to be the question. And he decided yes it is, so either way, he'll end up farming the jungle for a little bit. Double King moving on, gets his Echo Saber. What other big items? We have the Helm of the Dominator is online, so those are all your pretty much your core items you're looking for. Maybe the Blink Dagger on Legion is going to be the next big one. Helm of the Overlord on the Lycan, and whatever Double King does get probably looks like the Desolator. Something you don't have to wait for, but maybe they do have to wait for this Legion Blink. As far as Sand King Gómez, like Puck, he's got a Witchblade. He's pretty happy. Probably going Blink next, but doesn't necessarily need it the way he's going. Tusk Blink Dagger is coming very soon for Sand King Gómez, and that's going to be like one of the biggest items in the game right now. That will save you from so much damage that is coming out through CDUB.
And that is basically just going to counter Mark's Blink Dagger. Mark goes in, goes for the
essentially,
quick
yeah.
duel win. If the Tusk is nearby, he's just going to counteract that initiation completely. You've got the time of 2-3 seconds to get back together and fight them away. Worst case scenario, even use Mortimer's Kisses and stuff like that, and you're wasting a lot on a basic ability. So this Blink Dagger on Tusk, the timing and the importance of it, going to be huge.
And Mark just now finished that Ancient stack, really working on it for some time there, but the man has achieved his dream. Which also kind of shows you how much importance he's putting on the Blink right now and the mentality of CDUB. CDUB are like, hey, let's not really do anything until I get my Blink. But that might be greeted by a Blink of Tusk, and that could be a very bad thing, as Sand King Gómez is 5k gold ahead. Razor completely free farming. You don't really have a traditional carry on CDUB, so if you're a Sand King Gómez fan or believer, they're doing it as they're currently speaking.
Holding on
will
to the
tell.
5k lead as well pretty early on into this game, so comfortably entering soon to be called mid-game with this Razor Puck. Both of them who are enjoying their games so far. Slawi having a much better start as well, topping net worth with almost 8,500. Far ahead from the next core, which is Double King's carry, Dawnbreaker, closing up on 7k. Going for Desolator first, we've got the shards, the blinks, the BKBs lined up. Kind of needs that shard early on as well, but you need Deso for the damage. Need shard for the, you could technically say, extra damage, because then you can move around. Get that third stun.
Yeah, for sure. I think I'm the only one that does this, but I categorize early, mid, and late game in very simple terms. Like, the early game begins at 7 minutes for me, like when the first set of neutral items out. Before then, it's laning stage. The mid game for me starts at 17 minutes when the second set of neutral items come out. And then at 27 minutes, I think that's about the time when late game approaches. And then ultra late game is the
Yeah, I go
past that.
I go by something similar as well, yeah. Well, let's see, Isla. Okay, he's not going to make out of this one. He shouldn't.
Nah, he's
But
fine,
he does.
but he did have to use shapeshift to get out of that one. Which isn't the worst thing. And Mark is behind him smoked with a Blink Dagger. If there's a straggler, he'd love to get this Tusk, actually. And he's under vision, just didn't have the confidence to go for it.
Yeah, with the
But they do
shapeshift
know.
running out.
Yeah, but they do know that Tusk has a Blink now, so if he doesn't go on the Tusk, he has to run the risk of that Tusk saving heroes.
Gotta start from somewhere. Lund. Moving in pretty deep here. Has the vision, sees the Snapfire. Oh, he doesn't see the Legion Commander right next to him, though, but has to throw in the moment of carnage. The press the attack, even. Get the Snapfire out of harm's way. No proper fight starting off here. Yeah, talking about timers, usually I've had, like, laning stage is kind of over it by, like, somewhere around 8-9 minutes. Usually the time when I've been observing games that change from last hits to net worth.
Well, it's 7 for me as a
7-8
carry player.
minutes, somewhere
Like,
around there, yeah.
as soon as the neutral items come out, I go jungle because I want that neutral item.
Yeah, the neutral items for sure. Usually 20 minutes for around mid-game. 19-20, somewhere around that. Easy markers. Nope. Snapfire easily soloed there by Lund. Having the invulnerability rune as well, no challenge. AKA shield rune, mid tower to fall.
Up to 7k gold advantage here. Sand King Gómez are just completely outplaying CDUB on the map, and I think a lot of this has to do with it. CDUB doesn't have the confidence to do anything right now. But what is your confidence? What is your timer going to be? Speaking of the confidence, it's like Mark has to go in and make a duel, but he doesn't know how to make that happen with this Tusk Blink Dagger. Meanwhile, this Razor and Coddler are stacking and farming everything across the map here, which is a big issue. And your carry is a Dawnbreaker. This is a hero that wants Mark to go in, start the duel, and think about what they have to offer with that. They have the Solar Guardian that can go on top of the duel. They have the Mortimer's Kisses that go on the duel. They have the Bedlam that go on the duel. But everything is centered around this duel. And it's been hard countered by the Snowball. So Sand King Gómez has found the weakness in CDUB's draft, and they're playing it beautifully. They're realizing they don't have to do anything, because I think Razor is going to outscale every single hero in this game.
At least getting this Roshan and an Aegis, if they are forced into a fight, could be helpful for them. But are they in full fighting strength? Thinking Gómez really strong right now. Pretty heavy lead as well, economically. But is that going to be everything? They've got the Deso and the Echo Saber up on the Dawnbreaker, so she does hit hard. You don't have the shard yet to get those guaranteed Starbreaker stuns. Will at least be the carrier for the Aegis. And CDUB, smoke up, portal bottom. Thinking Gómez pushing a tier 2 tower. Are they staying too long? That's the big question. They got to start moving out. Dawnbreaker,
yeah, they should probably get back soon.
Can come back with that Solar Guardian. Dutcho still staying very risky.
He has no Exo very soon here. He's going to have to back out. Let's see if they play it patiently. Or if they're going to caught.
They're missing the
no
puck. They're missing the puck as well. This could be the time for CDUB to go in, but still, they talked about the confidence. It's not there. They're going to get to stack up together. Now the puck's joining in the fight. Mark actually finds the puck, duels the puck right away. And that's the target they want to go for. Is it going to be enough? Yes, it is. Duster with the kill, with the Mortimer's Kisses. CDUB finding the first one. Slawi forced away. The Razor dropping very low on HP. Does get saved with the Glimmer Cape. Now the Snowball hitting the Sanctified Dark below the backline as well with Dutcho. No Exorcism. Chan also forcing the people. Let's get the hell out of here. CDUB still in the chase. Isla. Mark coming in as well. Gets the blink. Gets a lot of damage. And Slawi does have the static link, but he's afraid to go in. And that also means Senkin Gómez in big trouble. Dutcho still holding his ground. The Siphon's doing a lot of work here. Still keeping himself alive. Sanctified is down. 9 is doing a lot of work at the back line. Now Mark is forced away. Senkin Gómez coming up the reinitiation. Duster's going to be falling as well. Now Double King standing in the middle. Still has the Aegis. Isla, he's got 9 right next to him. The Silence landing onto 2. Slawi getting the confidence to go in. Maybe the Dawnbreaker. That's the Aegis gone. Maybe even onto the LC. 9 going for the chase. Gets the Snowball connection as well. No, he doesn't. The blink away. And Double King, he's left all by himself. But there's no TP cancel. Yes, there is. Lund with the coil. And the Dawnbreaker to fall. Senkin Gómez somehow still find the options to turn the fight around and win it in the end. It was looking bad, Fear.
That was absolutely beautiful. Ducho surviving for so long with this Vanguard and Guardian Greaves type of strategy. And then in the backline, what was really good is Chan on his Coddle. Not only did he channel Max Illuminate, you saw Slawi use 1 Plasma Field, gave him mana, so he had a double Plasma Field in that fight with the blast from Coddle with so much damage. We'll probably see it through this replay here too. You're going to watch, like, look, 1 Siphon off here. There's a second Siphon. If he's healing so much, there's a third Siphon. This guy isn't dying. You get 1 Q off from Slawi here. He gets mana from Chan, I believe, in a second. And he's going to end up casting another Q into this fight here. And they managed to get just, like, so much damage off. I think that was his 3rd Q in the fight, actually. We missed a little fight before that. But they just had so much damage coming out from the back end there. And I want to say CDUB, they had a good initiation. If you go back to the beginning of that fight on the puck, where you just, the Tusk wasn't there.
They found another fight, dual connection onto the Tusk. This time the Snowball save taken away, but Mark will pay for it with his life. The Fear does connect onto 2, Sanctify, blocking their exit. Isla also going to be charging in with that shapeshift. Meanwhile, the fight spreading onto the left side. Double King down a half HP, still being hunted down. Lund and Chan doing as much work as they can. Can they get this Dawnbreaker? So close to getting the kill. Coddle giving more. Give me mana, Kotu, and gets that. Lund still finding Double King in the trees. The face shift there to dodge this Dawnbreaker. Starbreaker, but still taken down. And they're running them over in the high ground of the base. But they gotta start turning around. There's a buyback from the Snapfire. The Golem is doing work, but the Golem's about to drop as Dutcho keeps his ground with that Exorcism, and it's about to expire just now. So perfectly timed again from Senkin Gómez. Another 5k net worth going their way.
You've pretty much ran out of gas there if you're CDUB. You went for this Dawnbreaker, who is a tempo-based carry. You went for this Lycan, who's not even going for a scaling build, going for straight into the Helm of the Overlord. And of course, you got the Legion mid. 48 damage at this point in the game isn't bad, but this is your mid laner. This is something you wanted a lot more. You wanted to see this hero top of net worth. Every duel equals a kill, but against this Tusk, seems like that is not necessarily going to happen. Or even if they do win a duel, they've committed so much that they can't win the fight, especially when you're down 14,000 gold.
Yeah, like we're 22 minutes in that 40-minute game yesterday. Dutcho, he had 332 duel damage at the end of that game. So Mark only has a quarter of that, and already half the game played.
Well, if you want to win this game, if you're CDUB, you're gonna have to play off mistakes of Senkin Gómez. And really off vision, because you're gonna have to see exactly where this Tusk is. Maybe get a couple of these cheeky dual kills when Tusk is somewhere else on the map, or you have to target the Tusk like you are in the fights. But even if you manage to kill a Tusk with a duel, that's great and all, but you're targeting a POS 4 with your Blade Mill duel, which typically you want to target the carry with that, right? And kill the enemy carry with that. So I don't even know if that's enough. So they might have to just find ways to kill the Tusk first with maybe the Dark Willow and the Lycan, finding him in the backlines. Easier said than done, though. And really, you talked about you like to use terms. There's like a tennis term I like to use for Dota as well. It's called unforced errors.
Unforced errors.
Yeah, so it's basically you make a mistake. So Tusk would have to make an unforced error there to kind of get caught out and out of position there.
Talk about free will in Dota. 6-16 is looking pretty brutal. CDUB, not a lot of kills racked up this game. Have been playing on the back foot quite a bit. A couple good initiations, but the follow-ups, the extensions haven't been going their way. Lund still bullying Duster. Dutcho also joining in. So Duster's going to be dropping 5, 1, and 7 now on this puck. Also looking at Dutcho, who has racked up the most assists. He's been 2, 1, and 12, so 14 out of the 17 kills Senkin Gómez has racked up. As he has lived. Oh, nice attempt there from Mark, but is it worth it? Oh, they got him there, and now you're surrounded by enemies. So many hostiles.
And you don't even kill him.
And they don't even kill him. Sanctified, maybe snipes John. Okay, just goes for the TP out. Needs to get out of there.
Yeah, you're seeing plays like these because you're starting to see desperation from CDUB. They realize the state of the game is very bad, and sometimes the only way to win a game that is unwinnable is by doing crazy things that your opponents don't expect. But it also expedites your loss too, technically, if it doesn't work out. But if you feel like you have no chance to win the game unless you do it, and it has more chance of working, or it has more chance of you winning the game than if you just play passive. Playing to win instead of playing not to lose, as a lot of people like to call it.
And you got to keep that kind of clarity and mentality in check as well. Usually the team that tilts first is the one to lose first.
It's a best of 3 too, right?
It's a best of 3 as well. Yeah, you can't let that kind of rub on you too much.
As this game does look a little bit bleak, CDUB's lineup is completely out of gas. They're running on fumes right now. But there's always a possibility. Those fumes can take you a little more distance sometimes to where you need to be. But they need to do something quick before they're on empty.
Luntz found the Dawnbreaker. Calling in for some backup. Actually, it's Mark that's coming in, and Dutcho is now moved in, spots the Dawnbreaker. 2v1 by the looks of it, but here comes Lund as well, shows up out of nowhere. Dawnbreaker, very low in HP, but the Death Prophet's going to be taking a brunt of damage. Duster there to help him out. 2 versus 4, and somehow, they're keeping them all at bay. Dutcho still living, and here comes 9. Walrus punch to the face. Even Dawnbreaker can't stand that kind of a hit. And Senkin Gómez, 2v4, with the help of 9 showing up, get the kill, and they survive.
I'm pretty sure at this point, Mark wants out. This is definitely a situation where the game is not going the way you want it to go. Every single duel you attempt is not working out. Not your ideal Legion Commander game. I talked a lot about before as watching Mark as a player throughout the year. It's very feast or famine, and this is definitely one of those games where things are not working out for them. Net worth isn't going well. The rotations aren't happening, and insult to injury here as he's going to get some aggressive tipping here too.
Another exorcism.
I also know Mark is the type of player. I don't know about competitive games, but I played a lot of pubs with this man. He can tilt. He can tilt for sure. And I think 9 knows that as well. So emotional warfare happening.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Yeah, it is a kind of a battle of the minds in North America, at least. The banterous region, always known to be one. Try to get under the skin of your opponents whenever you can. Try not to tilt yourself. Very different type of mental warfare compared to like some of the other regions. Mr. Pinecone here battling against the creeps. Trying to rat the top lane.
And, alright. I'll hold to that thought as there might be some battling here. See if Puck wants to chase or not.
Well,
he got
shift
stunned.
already used. Duels up into the air. Chan being chased. Pushes Mark away. Blink on cooldown for 6 seconds. And again, just, is it another bait? Is it another bait? Chan, he's even turning around a couple times. And Lund shows up to catch off Mark. Isla's on the run. And Mark, he submits to his fate. Even with the Mortimer's Kisses flying in. Dives in and finds 2 more targets to jump on. Puck, however, very low on HP, but surviving. Sanctified wants to get the finishing blow, but no. Taken away. Senkin Gómez toying with their prey, but Lund, I talked to you yesterday about this guy. This is the type of confidence. When Lund has a good game, this is what it looks like.
Yeah, he's having a great game on this Puck. Everyone's having a great game. Sawi, Chan. Chan's been really impressive.
Chan's been great.
Grimstroke performances, this Coddle performance. Nine's been great. Who hasn't been great this game?
CDUB, by the looks of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Really struggled to get on the board this first game's not up to par what we are used to seeing from CDUB, a real battling team. Now just on the receiving end for the majority.
I would
of this
argue
game.
Mainly Mark and Double King have not looked like they've found their place in this game. Like, yes, there's a Dawnbreaker in this game. It's hard for me to... I forgot for a second there was a Dawn in this game. Double King has been that quiet. We've barely seen any ultis coming out from him. Kind of just been farming away. And I don't really blame him either, because, yeah, we're going to see another death here on Lycan, but oh well. Double King going to be in trouble here too. Probably not going to die tanky enough. But his only real play as a Dawnbreaker is to just use his ulti on Mark after he duels. I talked about it before. He can't really make stuff happen by himself. That's not how the hero functions. And so maybe not now is the right time to talk about it, but potentially after this game, we figure out, like, is this Dawnbreaker carry exactly what we want? Or maybe the Tusk needs to go, but there's still a little bit more game to play. We'll see what happens. Looking bleak, though. 26,000 gold, first ranking Gómez. As CDUB doesn't really seem to have much now.
The dual attempt, but how does this one work out?
It works.
Three versus 1. Okay, that's a win. Even using
and that's the first time we saw Senkin Gómez, like, fall out of formation. Talked about 9 having to be around, taking a duel when your Tusk is not there. They finally found it. And that would be going back to the unforced air. That was an unforced air there by Ducho.
Something we saw kind of similar from yesterday when everybody else was taking Roshan. Mu would show himself in the lane. Hey guys, I found the enemy, I died, but you can take Roche. Senkin Gómez doing something similar. Maybe not the best target to give away, potentially maybe even better to give a support in that fashion. But LC does scale with these duel victories, even though Mark doesn't have quite a lot of duel victories. It's still...
He didn't get the victory.
Yeah, that one too. Okay.
So, sorry to say, but yeah, that's the worst part of that one, is he didn't get the duel victory. Still at 48. But he, however, does have my favorite neutral item of the B patch. Was it the B patch that came out? No, 34 patch. The Vindicator's Axe. It's a really good item if there's any silences in the game, and just in general any slows. It has 20% slow resistance added to it, which is quite nice. And if you are silenced as well, you get 30 damage, and 20 armor if you're stunned. You just get 20 armor if you're stunned. You can't move anyway. It's just like free 20 armor.
There's the Hex from Sawi. Duster tries to roll around, but it's not going to be enough. However, the turnaround, did they go too deep in? 9 low on HP. Another duel has been interrupted. No victory for Mark, and even Mark losing his life. Comes in with the buyback. They've got to root some couple heroes here. Slawi, 9, Dutcho. Still able to get out. Nice silence. 3 heroes silenced there. And then turn around with the coil.
Okay.
I want to work on those buildings. Keep them at bay.
Just get Arcane Rune, I guess. I mean, I said okay. Slawi said okay. It's like, what the hell is that coil? Just for fun with an Arcane Rune.
Yeah, 25
and
seconds.
Slawi is a monster at this point. He is Butterfly, Hex on top of his other items. How do you deal with him on top of an Aegis?
Yep. That electricity slowly grasping the structures of these tier 4 towers. Electrifying at the least. Senkin Gómez came in with a storm. I don't know how many puns I'm going to make up with Slawi, but in the end, one more fight left in CDUB. We saw some crazy Dota yesterday with GRIN and TiltedBoys. Can they pull off something similar here? Mark Finding the backline, gets the Tusk into the duel with that BKB. Maybe it works out. Solar Guardian coming in as well. No duel victory, but a kill at least. And Lund silencing the backline. Interrupting the Mortimer's kisses. Sanctified and Isla both going to be dropping a double king. Trying to go on Chan. Chan, he's got the Yules. He's hovering himself into the air, preventing him from dying right away. And Double King surrounded. He does do a lot of damage, but it does not matter. They have all fallen, and the GG's given. CDUB have to give up this first map. Senkin Gómez, though, on a roll.
They definitely are, and kind of proving that.